Hey, it's Brian from The Cell. We're kicking off a series of short video chats with some industry leaders to talk about different perspectives and trends in headless commerce. Today, I'm talking to Noah Gedrich, CTO at Zaner Group. Zaner is a leading digital agency for headless commerce builds. We've worked with Zaner on several projects, most recently to create a headless web store for the e-commerce brand Barefoot Dreams. So, what indicates an impressive headless solution to you?
So I think there are obvious answers. Like performance. And how are they using? So if it is headless, if it's a progressive web app, how are they taking advantage of those technologies? And are they doing a great blend of content and commerce? Are they doing something that fundamentally couldn't be done in Liquid? Aside from just speed, right? Are they doing something new and more engaging than they could actually achieve elsewhere? That's from the front line of things. Secondarily, I'm usually looking at elegance of a solution, and it's a concept I've been working with my team on for years now. Of elegance isn't simplicity. It's not how simple did you make it. It's not how complicated did you make it, but it's did you solve the problem in a reusable, repurposable, thoughtful way to take most advantage of the tools while leaving yourself open and flexible for future growth, which is a really broad concept. But the idea of an elegant solution, it's hard to see from the outside. That's the hardest part. From a technical side, it's a hard thing to see if you're just looking at an existing site. But if you're looking from the back end, if you're looking from you're looking at how many calls is it making back and forth to the server to pull in new content, how optimized is the code base in terms of that data retrieval? Is it reusing the same components in different places for long-term maintainability and maintenance? I think those are the things that I look to as a technologist. But the stuff that I still get most excited about is like how wonderful an experience did you create? Like I still want to be delighted when I'm using a site, and it's an overused phrase, the surprise, the delight and surprise the user. But that's what I want.
If you were assessing, a new headless platform and you were considering how we might not only satisfy but also go beyond that and delight and surprise the user, is there anything that comes to mind? What would your criteria be when you're looking for the right platform?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking for a platform, it's what's the value am I going to get from working with this platform? And I think in that sense, it's how far does it get me, how fast? So how much work is the platform bringing to the table? And then also, what's the ecosystem that it's living in? I mean, there's nothing that we do today should be built whole cloth from the ground up. It's a gigantic waste of time. And I think that's true from deciding you're going to build your own headless or your own PWA framework for a store. Like I think that's a gigantic waste of time. But also building out all of the what we now think of as integrations, but all of the additional features. You shouldn't be writing your own reviews engine today. There are plenty of great partners there. You probably shouldn't be writing your own headless content management solution today because there are a couple of really great solutions. So when I'm looking at a headless solution, I'm for commerce, I'm now saying, well, what else is available to me if I choose this one? How closed is this, or like how walled off is this garden? And if I'm getting a lot of that value, either from things that have already been created or people want to jump on board to start creating in that space, that becomes really, really crucial. I mean, Shopify's success is largely driven by the size of their app ecosystem early on. Microsoft used to talk about for every dollar they make, that their partners made $10, right? And I think that's people want to jump on board with tools that solve that are hubs of solutioning, and that's what I'm going to be looking for. Is how much are people starting to attract interest from from that broader ecosystem, so that again, I don't have to build it all myself, and I can take advantage of best of breed tools from across the board.
And with that, of course, a self plug for Nacelle, but we really also believe in best of breed, and I really think that the ideal system here is one that lets the agency developer actually select for their merchant what
Mhm.
is the right technology match for their requirements and for their brand. And I think that's something that is very important in the implementation and the planning process as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've loved from the Nacelle side the curation that you guys have done of that ecosystem. You're attracting the best of breed partners that I want to work with and would naturally work with, but you're also curating new tools as well. Where I'm saying, oh well, I hadn't thought about this one, but Nacelle recommends this. I should really consider it because I trust their instincts on the problem solving that's going on here.